It just takes time.
And sometimes we feel really nervous inside, but we don't see it on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
So then you get good feedback and you're like, wow, instead of a negative feedback loop, it's a positive feedback loop. In the recording that I saw myself, the meeting before, was like actually pretty smooth. It builds confidence. So right now what we do is we have guests sometimes, but we record it and we send the unlisted recording out to members. Okay. Good, everybody's working.
Welcome. My name is Tom Bartesi. I am the Sergeant at Arms for this club. That's stepping in for Sherrod during his absence. So I open up every club meeting, and it's my pleasure to welcome everybody tonight. Reminders: if you have a phone, please put it on mute or silence, so we're not interrupted during the meeting. If you need to use the restroom, it's out the door and to the left. And we have a fun meeting in store for everyone tonight. Thank you for our guests for showing up. Isaac and Lucy, welcome tonight.
Welcome.
And without any further ado, that reminded me, I was reading an article the other day. It's an interesting article. And it explained, see, this is why you come to Toastmasters, you learn things. It explained that they did a study and on traffic patterns and accidents and things, and it was determined that the majority of car accidents occur within 3 miles, within 3 miles of your home. The majority of of your anyway, I told Lynn, my girlfriend Lynn, about this, and we were both shocked, honestly. And right now we're thinking about moving. Honestly. Okay, what's our president? Natalie, come out.
So, hi everyone. Glad to be here. Glad to see all of you. Welcome to our members and welcome to our guests. We have 2 recently new members today, Adam and Olga. So we are really thrilled that you're with us. That's great. And we have 2 guests tonight. And usually what we do is we ask the guests to come up here and say a few words about themselves. So Isaac, right?
Yep.
Isaac, can you come up here and tell us why you're here and how did you get here and what you're thinking of achieving here?
Okay. Yep. So my name's Isaac, and I've heard of Toastmasters for a long time. I actually joined Toastmasters maybe like over 5 years ago, maybe close to 10 years ago, and it was a disaster. They like pointed out random people come up, and they gave me a topic, and they told me it's about 1994 and about tech. I was like, oh, I was born in 1994, and I'm learning about tech, and then I just blinked out. It was just humiliating, and so hopefully there's a lot better. You know, seems a lot better so far. So I hope to be a better communicator, get used to being in front of people, you know, get over these jitters I'm trying to feel right now. And yeah, so that's what I hope to get out of it. Thank you.
Great.
Now another new guest, Lucia. Is that correct?
Lucia.
Lucia. Why you're here tonight?
Okay, my name is Lucia. I'm from Colombia. And I am struggling with my accent in my English, and that makes me shy, and that makes me like, how do you say, like being alone, because I don't share with people, like I like my confidence is low. So I'm hiking every weekend with a group of people, and I always like the last, so I don't isolated maybe.
Yeah, that's a good word.
So Hamid, the leader, I was explaining to him that I would like to have like more relationships, friendships, and like to get to know people, new people. And he recommended me this, he introduced me to this I've never heard about it. I didn't know it existed. But he said he took one course like 50 years ago, and he loved it, so he recommended me that. And coincidentally, I think he hired with one of your members, and he referred me. So I didn't know I was going to speak today, but thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, that's what we're doing here. We're speaking. Oh, yeah, okay. That's what we're doing here. We're speaking, and every time that we come, I suggest everyone to try and find the time to speak, take roles or participate in the table topics. That would be great. And for new guests and new members, I just want to briefly say about our format of this club. We have the same format pretty much every week. We have several speeches, and then we have table topics where everyone, including guests, can participate. And then we have speech evaluations and some functional reports. So every meeting looks the same, but you can participate and take different roles every time. One day you're speaker, another day you're evaluator, another day you're timer. And this makes everyone try different roles and feel more confident, starting maybe from smaller parts. So and progress. So I really encourage everyone to try out everything that this club has to offer. And with that, let's open this meeting and call our Toastmasters for tonight, our Zoom.
Woo!
So I don't think I would have picked this role if it weren't for Tom and Chris. Give it to me today, but I do think I needed that encouragement to kind of get up here and do this. I typically pick smaller roles, but I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited that this is my first time being with Toastmasters. So if I make any mistakes or if I'm not perfect, just bear with me. So we're going to start off with we have our speeches. So we have Patan and Maria giving speeches today. And then we have table topics. We're gonna have Bree doing that. And then speech evaluations, we have Vivian. And then we have DJ. And then we have our fractionary reports. So we will start there. And for our timer, we have Daisy. So Daisy, please come on up.
Hi everyone, I'll be your timer for today. I'll be timing speeches. Speeches for today are between 5 to 7 minutes. When you reach 5, it'll be the green card. I'll be back there waving it. When it's 6 minutes, it'll be the yellow, and 7 minutes, the red. Pretty much means just wrap it up. For evaluations, it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes is gonna be green, yellow's 2.5 minutes, and 3 minutes is red. Table topics, I'll be timing those as well. The green is 1 minute, 1.5 is yellow, and then 2 minutes is.
Hey, thank you, Daisy. Now we have the off counter, which is Adam.
Thank you, Natalie? No.
Arzu.
Arzu, okay, sorry. That's Natalie.
All right.
You're off to a good start.
You're good.
All right, you're good.
So I have a little prompt here, which I will read. So, greetings, sorry, one more time.
Arzu.
Arzu, okay, Arzu, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as or this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. So thank you, Toastmasters. All right.
I love that Adam came with the paper and he was ready to He was ready to do some reading. Yeah.
You're a good reader. That's what I'm here to.
Next, we have Chris doing grammarian.
Right. Great Toastmasters tonight. Great job, Ursi. Step up. Thank you. So grammarian, I am going to pay attention to our grammar. Right, and you have excellent English. It's going to get even more smooth and fun to play with in our sessions in the future. So there's a lot of people here that are practicing those skills. So language is a beautiful thing. Different cultures have different ways of explaining ideas, and some are very exciting and figurative, and they get these really great pictures in our mind. And sometimes there are times where we want to point out a smoother way of saying something. So that's what my role as grammarian will be. Also, the word of the night, try to use it. It's a fun word. Kerfuffle. We've all had a kerfuffle here or there, right? A little mix up. What does this mean? Kerfuffle is an informal word that refers to a disturbance or fuss, typically caused by a dispute or conflict. Sometimes you have kerfuffles when you're speaking and you just immediately kind of need to segue. One other thing, the reclassification of Pluto from a planet to a dwarf planet caused quite the kerfuffle among astronomy lovers. There will be no kerfuffles tonight, and even if there is, Arzu, you are so smooth, we won't even notice. So have a good night, everybody.
That was the first time I've ever heard anyone use the word 2 or 3 times in just like one sitting. That was perfect. You did a good job with that. Yeah, it was like one sitting you used the word multiple times. Yeah, I guess you did what, 2 or 3 for that. Okay, we have general evaluator, which is going to be Tom for tonight.
Thank you. When I try and add humor to when I inject humor into the meeting, normally most people sit there quietly and they think, what a kerfuffle.
No. Tom got it.
Did he mark that down?
I got you.
Okay, on general evaluator, overall, addition value are observe the meeting from start to finish. See what we did well, see what areas we may want to work on, if you want to challenge yourself on anything, and report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to start with the speech evaluators, and they're going to be presenting our speakers. So Vivian is going to be presenting Catan. So Vivian, if you can come up. I always forget that you're here, Vivian.
I was looking over here.
We'll evaluating Catan. So
I am very pleasure to introduce Ketan Patel. He is our first speaker today, and the title of his speech is a key realization from his first 3 speeches at Toastmasters. And then is the pathway presentation mastery level 1, and he's going to focus on vocal variety and body language. And one sentence to describe the speech is he's going to share his experiences discovering that the single most important skill that we need to master is to become a good speaker.
Okay. How long do you think that your audience take to decide if they trust you as a good speaker? Anyone?
10 seconds.
32.
Just takes 7 seconds.
Wow.
7 seconds is all that you get to make that first impression. And here is the more surprising part. It's not your words, it's not your hand gestures, all vocal variety, or any body movements. It's when you and when and how you look into your audience's eyes, the eye contact. I realized this after my 3 speeches here at Toastmaster, the simple truth that eye contact isn't just a technique. It's the single most important anchor that you have to ground first, even before you start your speech. It's a connection that you have to establish and carry on throughout your speech. So let me share what happened in my first 3 speeches that led me to this realization. My first speech, of course, I was nervous. I barely
made it. I thought I prepared well, but when I came up here, I forgot a lot of lines. I also had some big pauses, and very often I had to look down to recollect myself. But so I was not able to connect with people. I was just kind of surviving. And the feedback that I got from the audiences was slow down, use the stage, use vocal variety. But for a beginner like me, it was very difficult to use them before getting this very basic right. Then my second speech was not much better. I spoke too fast. People missed some of the key points, but something happened midway though. I was able to make one eye contact. Maybe it was by accident, but suddenly I felt different. I felt a little calmer and under control, and I felt like I was having a conversation and not like a speech under pressure. So I think that was a small turning point for me in my journey of speaking. So I think for a very brief moment, I had an audience, and I realized that if I'm able to do this sooner, and if I'm able to hold on to this for a longer, my speech will feel really very different. Then after 3 weeks, I had my third speech. This time I prepared well, I timed well. I was very confident that I'll be able to speak with an ease anywhere, anytime. But the moment I walked into this room on that day, I saw a lot of guests. Not just one, two, but many new people. So the pressure kicked in, and right at the start, I stumbled on my opening. I used a lot of filler words. I also had a big pause of going blank and then recollecting under the pressure. But I remembered that moment from my second speech, and I forced myself to make some eye contact. And I made a little eye contact and shared a bit of my personal story. I heard a few laughs and some more laughs. Yeah. This few seconds of this moment made me feel like this is how your speech should go until the end. So that reminded me that connection is more stronger than the perfection. Even if your words are not perfect, but if you're able to make a good eye contact, you and your audiences are going to feel very good about it. So here's what I have learned. If you're able to establish this eye contact early, you take the control of the full room. And if you're able to maintain it, you hold the audience's attention. If you combine this with your own personal message that you're passionate about, your speech is going to be a great speech. So here's what I recommend. Next time when you speak, even before you say your first word, take a moment to make an eye contact with as many people in the room. And just try to hold on to that with your eyes throughout your speech and see how your speech performance changes. Thank you.
That was amazing. Because I appreciated how you started off by telling us how it's not about all these other things. It comes down to the eye contact, and it's more about connection than being perfect. And I think that we can all take that and just remember one of our speeches from the past where you made that eye contact with someone else and you realized, wait, it's like having a conversation, and it's not as scary when I feel like I'm actually connecting with these people. So I appreciate you for saying that. It made me think of me when I'm doing my speeches. Okay, perfect. So the next person that we're gonna bring up is gonna, oh, yes, I'm so sorry. We're gonna need to take a minute to scan the QR code and give a little bit of feedback for Tan. His amazing speech.
It's gonna upside down.
give everyone 30 more seconds to wrap up. All right, now let's present BJ, who is going to be doing the speech evaluation for Maria. BJ, come on up.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I am evaluator for Maria Kovaleva. I think first time I'm using your last name. Without kerfuffle, she is one of the most experienced speaker in this club. And I look forward to always listening to your next speech. So today, Maria's speech title is Toaster Pride of a Thoughtful Child. Very interesting. Pathways. This is our second pathway, dynamic leadership. Level 2, project 3. And the project type. Purpose. No, before purpose, there's something else. Introduction to Toastmaster mentoring. Okay, something. But it is project 3, introduction to Toastmaster mentoring. Purpose of the project is to define how Toastmasters envision mentorship. A general description. The speech is about a personal story about experience of being a protege of most unexpected mentor of all. So without further ado, please welcome Maria.
Dear friends, did you know that a toaster can be a messenger of us? Sometimes I like to have a crispy, fresh, gluten-free waffle during my afternoon condition. But many years ago, 25 or so, I used to have this right of toaster sound when it goes off, when it's ready, the toaster is ready, and I know that it will go off. No, every time I know, but I am afraid of this sound every time. And it goes like every bone of my spinal cord. I feel it. And I thought, what's the kerfuffle is it? And I wanted to understand. I decided to understand what's that. It's not a normal reaction, right? And recently I decided to ask my mom, how was I when I was a kid? And I asked her, was I very emotional when I was a kid or just irrational? And she was like, neither of them. You were a very calm and thoughtful kid. And I thought, how can it be? Look at me. And that made I thought about it, and yeah, it actually made sense when I thought about it, because I was raised in a, how to say, emotionally hijacked environment. When one member of a family was dominating in emotional environment, and all the others were not safe to express their emotions. So as a child, I learned how to be calm and thoughtful child. I learned how to navigate my environment in a very rational ways. In my adulthood, I learned how to rationalize every problem in my life. And I would teach you how to go on with your life by rationalizing it. Little I knew how many problems it would bring to my life. I became so disconnected. my decision making became so synthetic. I mean, I would put together the outside data. I would ask you guys, what is best for me? You would give me advice, and I would be very thankful. And you would feel great because you would be very helpful to me. But it wouldn't be organic to me, this decision making. So the real problems began in 2015 when I moved to California. Real problems. I moved here because I was with my new husband. So new husband, new relatives, new location, new job, new everything. A lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of new toasters, a lot of new messengers. So my toaster fright actually returned. And I navigated those challenges myself intuitively. And I would call that period of my life an ugly transformation period. Why? Because I had to hit my bottom. I had to meet my dormant emotional needs, dormant intuitive side that I had to hide in my chest. I had to rebuild myself from the bottom. But I did it. And 2020, I started my coaching journey, very powerful. 2023, I was diving even deeper with trauma-informed coaching, and I learned how very important was regulated nervous system. And guess what? That toaster was my friend. That toaster was my mentor, you can say. That toaster tried to say, hey, Maria, take more time for yourself. Hey, Maria, look how dysregulated your nervous system is. But I didn't listen to that toaster. Later in life, I listened to a doctor. Later in life, I listened to my health condition. And now I'm thinking, what if in the very beginning, my soul would choose another family, a family where emotional intelligence would be on the top, a family where my parents would practice emotional sovereignty and imagine would pause before reacting or responding to my, hey mom, I don't like your soup, it's yucky. Or give me a more space for emotional expressions. Probably I would never meet that toaster in my life. Probably I would never meet that doctor in my life. Probably I would never help so many people in my life. Probably I wouldn't meet you guys in my life. So thank you, mom and dad.
Let's take a few moments to evaluate Maria. And I just want to say, I really resonated with that speech in so many levels. I think just the fact that you brought it all back together of how if that never happened, then I wouldn't have had lessons and experiences and been faced with things that I was, and you wouldn't have been here. So many different things would have had to change.
No regrets.
No regrets, and being able to kind of learn through it. So I really resonated with that. And I think it's amazing that now you're take your story and your experience and also help others to understand themselves and how to regulate their nervous systems and their childhood, which I think all of us, no matter how healthy our childhood is, we have some sort of difficulty that, you know, we grew up with, and there's no right or wrong way, but being able to hear how you support others is amazing. So I'll give everyone a minute and a half to evaluate Maria. it up. 15 more seconds.
Once you wrap it up, it's like fine and
All right. So now this next part is actually my favorite part of the day, personally, just because table topics is such a great opportunity for everyone who didn't get to speak and have a chance to give us a little bit more wisdom aside from those amazing speeches that we've had today. So without further ado, bring up Bree to do our table topics.
Hi, everyone. So I just signed up for this role 2 hours ago and got into a kerfuffle with ChatGPT. Gave up. So I came up with my own random set of questions. It doesn't have a topic, but here we go. Hope it's fun. So I'd like to invite you, one of you, several of you to come up. I will give you actually ask you to choose a number from 1 to 8. It will be a question, and I'll give you 30 seconds to think about what you want to say, and you guys can take the floor. So I know that we usually want to invite our guests to use this as an opportunity to speak, but no pressure, but you're welcome to come. So who would like to volunteer for as the first speaker for table topics? Now, don't jump all at once. Okay, I have 8 questions prepared, so just remember.
1 through 8, 1 to 7.
Okay, you have 30 seconds to think about it, okay? So, all right. Number 7 is, in what ways do you immerse yourself in nature or connect with the natural world in your daily life?
That's a great question.
Okay, great.
Awesome. So I don't need 30 seconds because I'm doing it all the time, so thank you, yeah. So nature is fantastic. I think, we're so used to taking cars to go to work, sitting in front of a laptop if you're in tech, or maybe construction too. No, every job's a great job. But there is something very unique about going into nature, and I like to go into Skyline and just drive and then find an area that I haven't explored before and just pull over and do the hike. So I've been doing this now for 2 months, and in the beginning my calves were very sore, and I was taking a lot of magnesium. You can actually take too much magnesium, so please be careful. I'm not going to explain the symptoms, but there are pretty bad symptoms. They're a little gross. So make sure the magnesium dosage is good. You go to Skyline and you can pick any kind of hike, and it's fantastic, and I highly recommend it. So that's it. Yeah.
I actually go to Castle.
Oh, Castle Rock's great.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite off of Skylines.
I think
Anyone who wants to or hiking, please let me know. I'll go with you guys. Anyway. Okay, number 2, who would like to come up and take a table topic?
Olga.
So good to see you again. All right, pick a number 1 through 8, not 7. Okay, let's see what I did here. What's a habit you're trying to break right now, and how are you doing it? I can get stuff in here. Yeah.
In general life, we are all trying to keep everything under control, right? Being a mother to control your kids, being at work to control your workplace environment, everything, being a program manager to control everything and everyone within the team. And the habit of control to make a delegation. How to delegate, whom to delegate. And that's something which I'm learning today. And it doesn't work well. I still keep everything under control. One of the recommendations definitely because I have a teenager, and to control everything teenager, it's really hard. And what I learned is that to make them grow, to have a point of clear separation, you have to let them fail. And that's something which I'm still learning, how to let them fail and how to keep everything under control. Thank you.
I resonate with that, Olga. I have two young men that that are taking lots of choices that I wouldn't go with. Boys, have faith in you. Who's next?
I'll try.
Awesome. Good to have you up here.
Yeah.
All right. One number, 1 to 8, but not 3 and not 7.
Okay. 2.
Okay. Oh, what do you think makes a speaker truly unforgettable?
Okay.
Take your time to think about it.
All right. I think what makes a speaker unforgettable, I think you touched on it. I think it's just the eye contact and having a whole conversation with somebody. And I think most importantly, it's being a little vulnerable too. I think that really connects with people. Just showing your human side, that helps a lot. So I think that's what really makes somebody, yep.
I think both of our speakers did that today, right? Really showcase vulnerability, such a good way of it. Really nice. All right, guys, who's next? Come on. You want an easy one? Okay, that was an easy one. This is something everybody reads. In what ways do you think you're turning into your parents?
No, no, it's a difficult.
That's
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to pick that one for you? Okay, all right. Let's see. Okay, do you believe in setting New Year's resolutions? Do you think that's a good thing or nah, not so much?
That's a good.
Okay, so let us know.
So New Year resolution is like a tradition in my country. So we Latinos, we ate 12 grapes and we made like a wish or a resolution for everyone. So we have another one that we got like an empty luggage, like an empty bag, and we ran for the streets because that year we want to travel. But I'm losing my point here. The New Year resolutions are very important because it's like making a budget. So you put in that the person you wanna become this year, the skills you wanna acquire, or the things that you want to avoid. So I think it's very important for you to put to draw a line where you want to go. I hate you.
Very good. Very good.
Yes,
Good stuff. Good. Great.
Let's go.
come on. I'm gonna give you a choice of 2 numbers. Number 8 or number 1.
One.
Hey. What conversation topic do you avoid? Why? And what would it take for you to engage in this conversation topic?
Take
Kind of like, why do you feel that way? And what would it take for you to feel like, okay, I want to talk about that? Take 3 seconds.
So when I was younger and less experienced in life, I would do the typical, where are you from? I would use my great ears and I would hear an accent, and out of a sense of curiosity and innocence, I would say, where are you from? Where did you come from? And over the years, I realized that was quite rude. And that it was better to focus on the individual, on the person. Maria has spoken about this in our club before. And to learn about them, and they will, in their own ways, share more about themselves, whether it's some cultural uniqueness or something about their family. And sometimes where they're from is not a different country, it's a different city or a different coast of the US, or maybe they're second or third generation. Everyone has a journey. And what I love about this group is that whether we ask about it or not, those that are here feel comfortable enough to share something very vulnerable and personal about themselves and their families. And so it's a way for us to learn and discover and to be better about connecting with others, whether you're from Colombia or any other country, because those of us that are from the US have a disadvantage in not having that cultural reference point other than learning from all of you. Thank you.
Hey, how are we doing with time? Do you want one more? How are we doing?
7 more minutes.
We're doing great on time today. Like, I'm a magician. I don't know how you're doing this.
We have 3 speakers.
We can do it. No, I don't, okay, come on.
Great. Like, quick bubble.
You want a hard or an easy?
Just whatever.
Okay. Okay, how about that? Okay, our podcast becoming the new church. Oh. Okay, no problem. Imagine you're giving a commencement speech at a college graduation. What is one piece of life advice, not academic, life advice that you would give the graduating class?
Also hard. Okay. In our day-to-day lives, what I feel is that we have abundance of things that our ancestors didn't have. We have so much food and shelter and safety. Everything is relative, but it's comparable to like previous generations. And I feel like we need to focus right now, not on getting more of things, of how we acquire more things for ourselves, but how we carve out the right things for us. And what I mean by that is in every aspect, we need to maintain our focus, to take only what we need. And for example, let's take the food industry. You go into a grocery store, you have so many things, but 90% of those things are not really healthy for you. They have so many artificial colors, sugar additives, whatever it is that the companies add there to make it cheaper for them and less healthier for you. So what you're doing is trying to gather those items that are actually good for you. Same as when you browse social media or want to watch something on TV. There's so many things that go and race after your attention. And you need to find those little gems of what you actually want and what is actually good for yourself. So I think that my advice for the for the college graduates would be to try and protect your attention and your own things that you decide to gather and to get from all the abundance that we have. Thank you.
Came up with that in 30 seconds, that's awesome.
I give it 10 more seconds.
So are we good? Or do you need one more? We're good.
I
I
think
think I-
we can say the name so we can vote on one name.
Wow, that was amazing. I think everyone had great speeches there. So before I kind of give my little summary and all that, let's scan the QR code and let's evaluate who we think was the winner for the table topics today. So we had Adam, we had Olga, we had Isaac, Chris, and Natalie.
Lucia.
No, and
Lucia.
Lucia. And Lucia. So
Before me.
before Chris.
I think so.
I appreciate that.
Did that you mean?
And then don't forget to submit after you pick the individual that you think won from table topics. I think you learned a lot of things from today. Adam taught us to make sure you have the right amount of magnesium.
I can't wait to chat GPT what happens if you don't.
Well, they've been doing that for over 2 months. I think it's amazing to kind of get out of nature, and it's a reminder that we should all take a little bit of a breather from our day-to-day lives, from our computers, from our jobs, our stressors, just kind of get outside. So I appreciate that. Olga, I love that you said you have to let them fall or let them fail. And I think that's one of the hardest things, whether that's at work or with kids or with parents, because I have elderly parents that I have to take care of them. And it's that reminder of I have to let them fall, not act physically fall, but I have to let them make their mistakes, and I'm there to support them when they need it. But that we can't necessarily control or change anyone. We just have to be there for them and remind them that, we're here. Isaac, I really like that you had mentioned that it's important to get vulnerable, not only just making eye contact, but also letting people feel like they are relating to you, which I think is a huge one. Is that Natalie, I like you said to watch what you pretty much digest, whether that's what you're reading, what you're listening to, what you're putting into your body, and just taking what you believe and what you know is good for you and leaving the rest, because it's easy to want to just take everything, but just noticing what you're kind of digesting. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so did everyone submit? Push the button? Okay, let's continue. Now let's bring up Vivian to evaluate the time.
Everyone, so before I get started, could I have you to pronounce your name again? Because I feel like everybody's butchering your name.
Yeah, it's Keaton.
Keaton. Oh, okay.
Keaton.
Correct. So my pleasure and honor to be your evaluator today. And I think you did so well. It's really hard to imagine that this is your fourth speech. You made a lot of people kind of sweat a little bit. I think I've done a whole lot more than that. So you were very calm, you're very collected, and you sound so mature that I kept thinking this couldn't be the fourth speech ever. I'm blown away by that. So that's really good. And so I'm gonna do the evaluation in two parts. So again, first is about the content, and the second is about the performance or delivery. So in terms of content, you gave a very good advice that everybody will agree to, right? But that would not be my focus today. I really like how you structure your story, your speech, because as we just discussed, what makes the speech memorable, and one of the elements is emotional connection, right? You show a little bit of your vulnerability, and you really connect with your audience, even beyond the eye contact. The story itself is very, very interesting. And another element about having a good story is the suspense. You started with a story like, guess how many seconds that you will lose or will connect with your audience, right? I remember 7 seconds, which I might have already felt already. And then, you know, the story itself is like progression, right? You will think that the first speech that you gave and you didn't feel as comfortable as you progress to the third one. And I was hoping and expecting that was wonderful and everything. Then you throw in a little bit of like, but you were facing a number of new faces, right? So that was a little bit of the twist that made the story interesting. Okay, so that's very good. So to summarize the emotional connection and then also the structure of the story. And then the second part of my evaluation will be the performance. And you really mastered the vocal variety and the body language. And let me address the vocal variety first. As you were talking about like the first speech that you were not doing so well according to yourself, right? And I could feel that the voice was like a lot lower, you know, a lot of more sadness in there. So that was a very good vocal variety that you put in there. And then as you got progressed into the second and the third speech, I could feel a little bit more like excitement going on. So that was really good. And then in terms of the body language, you took up more space, especially at the very beginning, but then later on, you kind of like squeezed in a little bit. Think maybe you could take up a little more space as you went on to the better part of the speech. All right, so I have seen that the sign of saying stop talking, so we'll stop talking here. So thank you.
Oh, yes, he is on it. He's ready to go. Okay, so let's welcome BJ, and he is going to evaluate Maria.
Thank you, Arzu. Very thoughtful speech. I divided into 3 parts my feedback. One is clarity and flow, delivery, and the impact. And then I'll give you something to work on. Clarity-wise, I think it was a great start. You had a personal story from your childhood. You explained the environment you grew up in. You were startled by the sound of toasters sound, and how you relived that same experience when you, after getting married, you moved to your new husband, new relatives, a new place. So very good flow in your story and very clear to me. Now delivery itself, you had very good eye contact. I think you always do. Hand gestures, you used lots of hand gestures throughout. Open body language, you're not closed. Impact wise, you shared with us that you can find mentor anywhere and in anything, not just human, even in objects. That was a good point there. And we should be thankful to our past. And we should be thankful to our past because that brought us here where we are, gave us our experiences, and taught us our lessons. So great ending there. Now, something maybe you can work on that I noticed. You ended with thanking your parents. But since you started the story with a toaster, it would have been nicer if you brought that back.
Thank you, Justin.
Look more logical, right?
It feels good when you're listening to a story, it ties the loose ends and comes together. I don't know if I do it or not. I would like to hear, but something I noticed that if you did that, it will be more impactful at the end. Minor thing, I think you already mentioned before I came up here that you had your story first, speech first, and then you retrofitted into the project. So because of that, I think your purpose was to define how Toastmasters envision mentorship or mentoring. So I was expecting something that Toastmasters tell us how to mentor and you tie your story to that. I know, but so this is minor thing. I know you mentioned it, but that's it. And use of stage. Oh, I'm red, but I'll finish it. Use of stage. You were in this place, you were good hand gesture, everything, but you had two opportunities to use stage. I'm not just telling you to use stage, I'm giving you examples. When you said you moved after marriage, you could have taken a step this side or this side.
Okay.
Right? And then when you were scared of the sound, did you run away? Maybe you can move a little bit. I don't know. But some feedback.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great feedback. Appreciate it from both of you. Okay, we're gonna get into the functionary reports and we're gonna allow Daisy to tell us how we did on time today with 2 speakers and the Toastmasters or the table topics.
Table topics and speeches were pretty much on time. Keaton? Yeah. When you said work with his name, I'm like, yeah. Sorry. So your speech was at 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Maria, you are at 6 minutes and 26 seconds. For table topics, everyone was pretty much around a minute. Isaac, you did 19 seconds. Natalie, you did 2 minutes, and evaluations went a little bit over, but I think it's okay. We had the time and it was great feedback too. So Vivian at 3 minutes and 22 seconds, BJ 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
Daisy, you mentioned the other 3 table topics were within 1 minute. So
Yeah.
Chris.
Olga, Lucia, that's minutes. A little for a minute, but yeah, everyone's.
Amazing. That's good. That's what we like to hear. Okay, let's bring up the off counter. Adam, come on.
Thank you. All right, so for Oz, they were within the single digits, which is great. So starting with Katen. Did I say that correct? Yeah. Okay. 6 ums. Maria 0. Good. Olga just 2. Isaac 0. Nice. Lucia 1. Chris 0. And I noticed I just gained like 5 ums. It's like for fun. Yeah. And Natalie 3. Where's Natalie? Yes, 3. Vivian 2. VJ 0. Right there. And Adam 10. Okay. All right.
As that was your role today, you get a pass.
I would be more scrutiny, but thank you.
Now let's bring up Chris for the grammarian.
All right. Before we forget, B, we have the winner of table topics.
Yeah.
It was close, but Natalie won tonight. We're the day users. And we have VJ and Maria and B and Adam just squeaked right in there. Katen. Okay, so I focused on our speakers tonight primarily. You said it's how and when you look into your audience's eyes. I was just surviving. How many times do we feel like we're just surviving at work or with family, or maybe you feel like you're floundering in your speech, you're just surviving for the next moment. It usually ends without death, so it's okay. Not just 1 or 2, but many new faces. Kind of built it up, and I've had that experience where I thought I was going to speak, and then we had a bunch of guests from West Valley College. Oh, and fun. That's a fun day. Standing room only. Connection is more stronger than the message. So I think you meant connection is stronger than the message.
Then perfection.
I think it's like
It was perfection.
oh, perfection. Connect, okay, perfection. You said is more stronger though, so eliminate the more. Okay. Maria. Every bone in my spinal cord.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, that's great.
Did
I
you
would say
feel it?
every bone in my spine. It's the cord, it's not the bone.
Oh.
Emotionally, but I like this, emotionally hijacked environment. This is amazing, it's words you're putting together, it's very intense. My decision-making was very synthetic.
No, we
It's
are in
artificial, it's
AI
synthetic.
era.
I think you're just picking up the language in the household or something, yeah, it's going on, right? We live in the tech valley, right? Silicon Valley, but synthetic, it is true that sometimes we're seeking other sources of information, of validation, and we lose that critical skill that you remind us of, which is critical thinking. Every time you speak, you ask the hard questions, you have the interesting prompts. You don't take the easy route. And you don't know what you're gonna say. It's always interesting. So thank you for that journey. Okay, and the last thing is dormant, intuitive. And then you used it two ways. There's the dormant, intuitive something else. Like you were referring to feelings that were dormant within you.
Yeah.
And then they kind of came to life later as an adult and you could reevaluate them. Okay, Olga, let them fail. They have to fail to grow. Speaking about your children, speaking about your employees on your team that you're leading. And maybe you have to delegate to, you have to let them fail if it's not mission critical. And VJ, you can find mentorship everywhere, even in an object. So I know VJ, you pointed that out as a note of evaluation for Maria, but it was nice to point that out to make it very obvious for all the listeners. So other than that, great job, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. I love that when you come here, you don't just tell us things that we can work on, you also remind us of phrases. And I think a lot of other people do that too for the grammarian. But something that I also noticed, Maria, was that you said that toaster was my friend. I appreciated that when you kind of brought it back. BJ was saying bringing it back, you kind of did toward the end just slightly of how it became your friend instead of something that you were scared of. So something that I noticed. Okay, now we have the general evaluator, Tom. Come on up.
Thank you, RZ. We started on time. And we are going to end a little early, which is great. I want to commend our group. Our room is always set up nicely when the meeting starts. So Chris, BJ, well done. We're always prepared. Never fails. Makes a good first impression, particularly for our guests. Speaking of our guests were very welcomed today. They were greeted when they came in, which is important. They were recognized by our president to come up and say something about them. And then during the meeting, they were encouraged to participate. So that's something that we look for when we do our meetings. Arzu, first time Toastmaster, very poised and polished, and you're a natural at this. We might have to make you a permanent Toastmaster. What I particularly liked about what you did tonight was your transitions from one part of the agenda to the other. That's usually the most challenging part as a Toastmaster. What do I say? You listen to a speech and you had something to say about it. The table topics, you had something to say about it. That's not easy to do. That's impromptu speaking. You're gathering your thoughts in the moment. So well done. You kept this on time. I liked our speakers are every week, our speakers are taking everything to the next level. We're sort of pushing each other on with Caden and with Maria. Great jobs by both of you. B, you're a terrific table topics master. You're very enthusiastic. You're also very welcoming, and you make us all feel so comfortable. Hey, come on up. No biggie. Come on up. Take 30 seconds, you make us feel relaxed and comfortable coming up here. So well done with table topics. I want to commend our speech evaluators. Watch what they did tonight. They were very organized in their comments. They broke it down into certain topics, and then they stay on track, well organized. That's a lesson for all of us. Sometimes we have the tendency just to jot down what we liked, what we didn't like, but there's no organization to our evaluations. Make your notes during a speech, and then you have some time between then and the time you come up here and talk. Gather your notes, make an outline, support your outline, and it is something that our speakers deserve from our evaluators. So well done, both with Vivian and with VJ. Well done. One room for improvement. We had a guest online today, Alicia.
We can see if they want to say something.
And we didn't acknowledge her, and so we want to make sure we do that at some point. I can do that now if it's appropriate. Alicia, can you hear us? Alicia?
Let's see, jumping off mute. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, welcome. Thank you for coming tonight. Is this your first time attending a Toastmasters meeting?
Correct. Yep, this is my first one.
Excellent. So tell us, what did you think about the meeting?
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I thought you guys did a really great job presenting. It was nice to also take notes and provide feedback. I kind of feel like I'm sitting in the room there with you guys. So yeah, I'm excited to come and try this in person.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming tonight, and I would definitely encourage you to come in person. The in-person experience is a lot different than the at-home experience via Zoom. And if you're trying to work on your public speaking or your leadership, no better way of doing that than being live in front of people. So we encourage you to come down and as a guest and experience it in person. But thank you for coming tonight. And email us if you have any questions. Last but not least, the highlight of the meeting, at least for me, was that we clearly established how to pronounce Caton's name. Okay. Oh, it's only 5 letters. Come on, get this right. Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be being the Toastmaster today.
You did amazing.
Thank you. I think I could improve next time when it comes to my jokes and get on Tom's level. I don't know how long it would take. But I'm gonna start working on some jokes next time I'm the Toastmaster. All right, let's close it off with our Natalie. You are the president, so come in and close it.
Thank you, Arzu. You did a wonderful job, and we're really happy to have you with Toastmaster. It's your first time, and we are excited for the next ones, sometimes in the future. Adam, great job of first time accounter. And I think we had a great meeting, awesome, insightful speeches, and not a lot of kerfuffles. I count that down.
Let the record show.
Yes. And with that, let's close today's meeting. It was great seeing everyone, guests, and if you have questions, please stay after this meeting, and we'll be happy to answer.
Thank you.